Thank you.
Okay, so basically what we have in Revit, this is of course the Revit software. You're aware of how to use it by now. Um, we said that we have two types of files. We have models and we have families, okay, or projects and families. And by now, I hope that you know the difference between both. So models are where you're going to work on your project, and you'll have your plans, sections, elevations, ceiling plans, etc., all of that. But then families are kind of blocks that you will use in your models. So for example, doors and windows, or tables, or even text blocks, and so on. So all of these are families that you will insert into your models, and you can modify them and update them, and they will be updated in your model. So the first thing you're going to do, you will click on a new to start a new model. Make sure that it's an architectural template. But if it's in inches, this means that you have to go to browse, and then make sure that you are in the US metric file. Select your template, click on OK, and you will have your file. So after we open a new file, we're going to start. The first thing we're going to do is to start with the levels. Okay. So if you have like 2 plans or 3 plans, depending on what you're required to do. So for example, in the project, in the midterm, you will have 2 floors, and then you'll have a few things like a parapet wall and so on in the third one. Yes, Susan.
دكتورة بس أول ما بندخل نفتح ملف اليو ام أو اليو تي ماتريكس لازم ندخل نضغط عليها من البراوز، ولا هو ممكن يصير دايركت؟ لأن أنا عندي يصير دايركت عادي، ولا لازم كده أروح؟
إيه لا، إذا يصير direct it's fine. But some of you, when you open a new template, it will be in inches. Okay, so just make sure that you're working with. Sorry.
بس ممكن بس تراونا إيش وين هاي الانشز and matrix?
Yeah. Yes, sure. Okay. So you can always change the units from here. When you go to manage, you can go to project units and change them from here. But instead of changing one by one, the best thing to do is when you open a new file, okay, you select a template. So the template here, sometimes the standard ones that you use, construction, architecture, and so on. So for example, I will use architecture. When I click on OK, it will be in inches. So I have to change all the units, which will take time. So when you click on browse and you go here, so it's supposed to open automatically. But if it didn't open automatically, just make sure that you follow this path. So you'll go to C, Program Data, Autodesk, Revit to 2020, for example, or 2019, depending on what you have, and then templates. In templates, you will find metric and imperial. Okay, this is not only to open a template. This is also to load families, to load any doors, windows, furniture, all of these families. You will have to come here. Okay, so I will not open the US imperial. I will go to US metric. And then here are all the templates that will be in metric system. So I just went with the default, which is basically the architectural one, but then you have construction and you have electrical, mechanical, plumbing, and so on if you want to use those. Okay, for me, I will go with the default metric. What I'm going to have in the default metric is this. I will have 2 levels, and when I go to the elevations, you will see that you have these 2 levels. And when you open the units, you will see that all the units are in metric system. If you want to change it from millimeters to centimeters or something, then you can do that. Otherwise, you don't need to change all of the units. They will be already there. Okay. So after we change the units, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the levels. Okay, so if you have 2 floors, you will go to, usually to add a level, you cannot add it from the view plan, from the floor plans. You have to add it from the elevation. Okay, so we have here the project browser. I basically put the project browser always on the left and then the properties on the right. Maybe you will have them both together here, this way. Okay, so what you can do is you can keep this one on this side, and then I closed my project browser. No, it's here. Okay, so I'll keep it on this side. This is, for me, I see that this is much easier than having everything on one side. Here I can go through them easily. I don't have half the window only and half of it is for the project browser. So you can arrange the windows according to what you see fit for you. I prefer that you go with this method. It is much easier when you're working on your models. Okay, so in the project browser, we have the floor plans, ceiling plans, elevations, etc. I will go from here to any of the elevations just to start adding levels. So I'll click on north. Okay, now you have level 1, which is 0, and then you have level 2, which is 4 meters, and then you can start adding. So if this is the ground floor, I'll just double click on the name and change this one to ground floor, for example. And then I will change this one to first floor. I will just write numbers for now, just to make sure that the plans are okay. But you can rename them according to whatever you want. Okay, so let's say I will keep this as first floor. That's fine. Okay, if you want to add more floors, if you're just adding one, you can go to architecture, levels, and then from here I will start with this point, and I will come here until you get the dashed blue line. This means that they will move together if you want to move them. So if I select one of them, I can increase the spacing here. Okay, they will all move together. You will have constraints between them. Okay, and then you can change the dimension from here. So let's say I want this to be 3,500, or if you want to increase it, decrease it, you can do this from here, or you can add the total from here. And again, I can duplicate this. And let's say this is the second. Okay, so now I have these levels. So this is the ground floor, and then I have the first floor, and then maybe I don't have a second floor. Maybe I just have the parapet wall. So what I'm going to do is I will just change this to parapet. Okay, for now I'll just keep everything 4,000, and then you can control this according to what you have. Sometimes instead of ground floor, you have few levels under it. So you can add more levels in minus. So if I go here to level, and let's say I have like 1 meter under or whatever, you can add those. Okay, so instead of 1,300, it will be minus, for example, 450. You can do that according to the levels that you want to add. You don't have to stick with it, or you don't have to start with 0. Okay, so now I have my levels. I will go to the next step. If I have any grids, I will start adding grids. If you don't have grids in your plans, you can skip this. For example, if in the project there are no grids, you can skip them, but it is easier for you to have these guidelines. It will be much easier than calculating the distance every time you have to draw something. So even if you don't have grid lines, they are not required. If you can do them, that would be better for you. It would be easier for you when you're working. So what I'm going to do, I'll just go to architecture, select grid, and start drawing. So this is the first one. Now here I have a bubble that says 1, but then on the other side I don't have this bubble. What you can do is you can either click on this to check, and the bubble will show. And then you will do the same thing for the second one. So let's say this is my second one, and then I'll have to do the same thing. Otherwise, what you can do, you can edit the type. So whatever you add in this project, you will have it here in the properties, and you can edit the type and you can control it. Okay, so for example, now if I select this ground floor, you will see that I have the properties for the floor plan. If I select the grid, you will see that I have the properties for the grid. What I'm going to do is I will select any one of these, click on edit type, and then I will click here on this one. So plan view symbols, and 1 is checked, and 2 is checked, and I will click on OK. Now we will have them on both sides. You don't have to do it every time. You just go to and check all the circles. So now if I go here, 3, you will see that I have it on both sides. Okay, I'll do the same thing one more time, and now I have it. Now if I want to do the the horizontal ones, I will start, for example, from here to here. Before we do anything, just change the number. So instead of 5, I will make it 8. And then you will continue adding the rest. So instead of just drawing them one by one, what I'm going to do, I will select this, and then I will select array. Okay, so array will create a copy. Whenever you select any object, you will have this modify. So now modify tab is for grid, and I will select array from here. You will add the number. So let's say I want 7 copies. Okay, and then from here I want it to go in this direction, for example 6,000. And now you have all the copies. If you want them to be less, you can change it from here. When you're done, you will have your grid, but then when you select them, you will see that you have this line here, which is a group line. Okay, so these are all groups now. Even in the properties, you will see that it's a group. So you can ungroup them from here. Now you have them one by one separately, and you can modify it. Okay, so I'll just select everything. Well, now this one, because I already said I already did this, and then I will go to ungroup. Now they're all grids. You can modify the grids. Okay, so now I have my grids. We can start drawing our plants. So you can start by walls or you can start by flooring. This is up to you. I will just go through the tools from here and this side until I reach the end. Okay. So first of all, I will start with the walls. So whenever you're adding walls or flooring or ceiling or roof, you can always come to properties and edit the type. So you can select one of the types that are already here, but because I want to create something that is special for my need, I will go to generic 200, click on edit type, and then duplicate. Always make sure that you duplicate so you don't lose the original. So here, let's say I will make it custom 200, and then let's say paint. Okay, any name that you want to add, you can add it. From the settings here, you will go to structure, edit, and you will start editing your structure for the wall. So I will click on preview so we can see here what's happening. So the core of the wall, the basic element that we have, the core will be the structure, will be blocks. So I will click on the materials here and change them to blocks. So I will select this one, for example, double click, okay, and now I have them here. And let's say that I'll make the thickness 160, and then I will insert a new material, a new layer. So this new layer, I'll take it above the core because it's not part of the core, it's just a finish. And I will change the function to be finish and change the material to be plaster. Okay, so let's select this one, for example. Click on OK, and then the thickness, let's say I want it to be 10. So I have this now, and then I will insert another one, and I will change it to finish, and I will change the material to paint. Click on OK, and let's say the thickness is 5. Okay, and let's make this one 15, for example. So I have these layers. So this is the paint will be on one side, but the other side there is no finish for it. So what I'm going to do, I will insert a new one, and I'll take it down. Okay, And this one, I'll make it 15 as well. Change the material to plaster. And then I will change this one to finish as well. And then I will insert another layer, bring it down, change it to 5, change the material to paint. And then I'll have this as well changed to finish. So now I have all my layers. I have my blocks in the middle, and then I have the finishing on both sides. Now I will click on OK. OK. And now I have this new type. Okay. The total is supposed to be 200. So I can see that it's 200. Now I will start drawing. So when you start drawing the wall, you have two things that you have to consider. The first thing is the connection. Is it connected to any of the floors? So if I'm working on the ground floor, I want it to reach the first floor, for example. And then for the location line for the walls, do you want it to be on the sides? So I'll select, for example, finish face. So now it's on this side. And you can always click on the space bar to switch from a side to another if you want the other location. Otherwise, what you can do is you can keep it as wall center line, and you will draw it from the middle. Okay, so this is depending on the dimensions that you have. So for now, I will just create a building quickly. Let's say I will reach here, and then let's see here. Now I have my exterior walls. For the interior, for example, I want to divide it here. And always make sure that you zoom in and zoom out to see the points that you're selecting so you don't have any issues later. Okay, so let's say I have these rooms. Now I have my walls. If I go to 3D, you'll see that the walls start from the ground floor to the first floor. If you go to the elevation as well, you will see that these are the walls. Okay. Now, I want to copy these outer walls. I'll select them. If you want to select something easily, what you can do is you can select everything, and then you can go to filter, and I will remove the grid lines. So now I only have the walls. And then shift to remove this one and this one. But I don't want to remove them because these are one wall now, they are connected, so I'll just keep them. Again, I will select everything, filter, remove anything that you don't want. So I'll remove the grid, now I have the walls. What I'm going to do, I want to copy them to the first floor, okay? But instead of copying and then going to the first floor and then pasting in some points, what I can do is you can come here to copy. So this is copy to clipboard, or you can just click Ctrl+C on your keyboard. When I click on copy paste now is activated, so I have more than one option. What I'm going to select here is align to selected levels. Okay, so I will select align to selected levels, and I will select first floor and parapet. And then I will click on OK. If you want it to the parapet wall, if you don't want to add it there, you don't have to select it. You can select only first floor. Now when I go to the first floor, I will have my lines. The only thing I'm going to do is I will remove this line and I will remove this one. Okay, so now when I go to the first floor or to the 3D, you will see that I have all the lines. For the parapet wall, let me just delete those. You can just finish the first floor first, and then you can copy it to the ground, to the parapet wall. Okay, so I'm just going to select these lines. So you can click on Tab on your keyboard to select all the walls. So anything you're trying to select, you just move your mouse on it, click on Tab, and it will change the way that you're selecting things. So now I'm selecting all the walls, and then again, copy, paste, align to selected levels, and then I will select parapet. Now when I reach the parapet wall, okay, it will start from the parapet wall, and the top constraint is till the parapet, and then the offset is 4,000, which is a bit complicated. So what I'm going to do, I will just make it unconnected, and I will add the height to be, for example, 1,000. Okay, so now I have the wall. Now I will go to the first floor and I will add different walls. Let's say, for example, okay, let's say I want to extend this one outside a little bit. So I'll just extend it here. Okay, and then I'll do the same thing for the parapet wall. Okay, so I have now my walls. I'll not add anything else for now. One more thing that we can do is in walls, you can select different types which are down here, which we said that these are the curtain walls. So the difference between curtain wall, we have three types: curtain wall, exterior glazing, and storefront. Okay, so the difference is in curtain wall you will have a glass sheet, and then you can divide it according to what you want. In exterior glazing you will have a divided sheet of glass, so more than one, and you can specify the divisions from the beginning, so you have to do them later on. For the storefront you will have the divisions plus mullions added. Okay, so even if you start with a curtain wall, you can always reach the storefront from the curtain wall by adding more divisions and then adding mullions. But if you want to control it better, you can start with one of these two. So let's say I want this area here to be glazed. So I will start with exterior glazing. And then I will go to edit type, and I will change the spacing for the vertical grid and for the horizontal grid. Okay, so for example, vertically, I want it to be 2,000, for example, and then horizontally, I want it to be 4,000. Click on OK, and then I will start drawing. Okay, one more thing I forgot to do, I forgot to change the constraint. So instead of up to first floor level, I will make it up to the parapet level. Okay, so this is parapet, this is parapet. Now when you go to the 3D, you will see that it will start from the ground to the parapet level. And then here I have 2,000 divisions, and then horizontally I have 4,000 and 4,000. Okay, so as easy as that. Let me just change this to shaded so you can see. Okay, so now we've added all the divisions that we want. If I want to add more, we can always go here, select curtain grid, and then you have all segments or one segment. You can choose between them. So for example, if I want to add a division here, I can select all segments and then select, for example, here it's 800. Okay, and I will add, for example, another one here. And you can always change the dimension. So I will select this one and I will change this one to 800. If you want to add something in the middle, so let's say I want to, let's go to curtain grid. I will select one segment. So for example, here I want to divide this one into halves. And then I want to add one here. So I'll select one segment, change this, add this one, and then I will add here, for example, or let's add it here. Okay, so I did the divisions. Now I have all the divisions. You can go to the next step, which is adding mullions. Okay, so I will select from architecture mullion, and then again you can select grid line, or you can select segment, or you can select all grid line. So I will select all, and select all of them. Okay, so now I have the mullions. So if you started with the storefront from here, you will have all the divisions with the mullions, with everything, but they will be divided equally. If you start with exterior, you will have the divisions without the mullions. But if you started with the first one, you will have just a plain glass, and then you can divide it according to what you want. Okay. So one more thing we can do is you can add panels. You can change the glass panels to doors and windows. You know that if you want to add a door or a window, you can come here to door and window from here. But these are used when you want to add them to walls. But for the curtain wall, you cannot use these. You have to load the families here and change the panel. So if I come to this panel, for example, click on tab until you reach the panel itself, you can change the system, and instead of glazed, you can change it to solid. Okay, and you can edit the type, you can duplicate it, and then let's, for example, change this material to whatever material you want. So let's make it wood. Click on OK, and you can change the thickness. So for example, I'll make it 100. Click on OK, and now this is changed. Okay, again, I will come to this panel, for example, select it. I'm just clicking on tab until I see the frame of the panel, and I will change it to the solid, the new one that I've created. Again, see, if you click here, you're selecting the curtain wall. So I just click on tab without clicking anything. Just tap on your keyboard until you reach the panel, and then you will change it here. If you want to change this one, for example, to a door, what I'm going to do is, again, select the panel, go to edit type, load, and then you will open this folder again. Go back and then select US metric. From here, I will go to doors, and I will select the doors with the curtain wall in it. Okay, so I have this one, I have this one, and this one. So let's see, I will select this one, click on open. Now it will open. Sorry. And then you can change the materials and the dimensions and everything from here, and click on OK. So now I have this door here. And when you go to the ground floor plan, you will find a door, and you can switch the direction for it according to what you want. Okay. Next, I will start, of course, the order of you working here. You don't have to follow this order. You can start with the flooring first, and then the walls, or walls, then the flooring, then doors and windows. But just to make sure that I'm covering everything, I'll go through them this way. Okay. So for the doors, I will click on door, and from here you will come to edit type, and you will load a new type, or you can come here to load family. Both are fine. Okay, and then you have these doors here. So you can load them all if you want to, but this will take a bit of time. So what I prefer to do is just go through them and check the preview from here. So if you reach something that you want, just load it. Let's say I want to load this one. Click on open. Now you'll have dimensions. Again, you can load all of them, but what I'm going to do, I will just load any one of them, and then I will change the dimension according to what I want. So if this is something that you want, you can keep it. Otherwise, you'll go to edit type, duplicate, and change the dimension from here. So let's say I want it to be 2 meters, and I want the height for the door to be 3 meters. So this is just renaming the family itself. It's not changing the dimensions. From here, you will change the dimensions. So this is 2000 by 3000. Click on OK. And now you can add it wherever you want. So let's say I want to add the door here, and I want to add, example, another one wherever you want. Okay. Again, anything, any family that you add, you can go to edit type, and you can change all the settings from here. So I can change the panel material, frame material, trim material, door handle material, everything you want to change, you can change from here. width and height, thickness, size, top rail, bottom rail, all of this you can change from here. Okay, for now I'll just keep it as it is. The same thing goes for windows. So you go to window, edit type, and load, or you can select load family from here outside. Okay, but again, make sure that you are in the correct folder, which is US metric, and then you can go to Windows, select the window that you want. So you can go through them. Whenever you reach anything that you want, you can select it. So I just select this one, for example, click on Open, select the dimension, click on OK. If you don't want to change the dimension, you can keep it. If you want to change it, you can go to Duplicate and create a new one. Okay, so for this one, for example, I'll make it 4,000 by, let's say, 2,500. And I will change this from here. Okay, so I have them now. And you have the materials. If you want to change the materials, you can change them. Click on OK. Now you can add this window wherever you want. So let's say I will add it here and I want it to open towards inside. I want another one here. And then let's say another one here. Okay, if you want the same windows to be in the first floor, let me just see it in the 3D. So if you want to duplicate them up, you can just select the windows from the ground floor even. You don't have to come to the 3D. Click on copy and then paste align to selected levels and select first floor. And it will be copied up. Okay. So I hope so far everything is clear. Next, we have components. I will keep this one, the model, in place till the end. But then if you want to place any furniture pieces or any other family that is not doors or windows, you can come here to place a component. And then again, you can go to load family or edit type and load. Both are fine. And then you can select from the categories that you want. So for example, we have here furniture. You can go to, for example, here, let's say tables, and select any table that you want, and then you can place it. So you can either place it here or from the ground floor or first floor. So when you're placing furnitures, again, you can go here and change the dimension, change the settings. So I'll click on edit type if I want to change anything. Let me just select this again, edit type. And then you have the base material, the top material, length and width. You can change those from the settings and click on OK. Sorry. So now you have your family. Okay. Then we have, I will skip the columns for now. Okay, they are basically the same. So you go to structural column and then you will select your column. You can go to edit type and change anything that you want to change, and then you will place it. Okay, so it will be placed. So I will just ignore this one for now and focus more on the architectural part more than the structural. So we have roof, ceiling, and floor. The first thing I'm going to start with is the floor plan. So I'll go to the ground floor, select floor, and then select this one. Now, when you're drawing floor plans, you have, again, the modify panel, and you have these types or tools that you can use to draw the floor. So you can select line, you can select rectangle, okay, depending on what you want to use. So I will start with line, for example, and I will go all around the building. So I want to reach this part. And now you have your flooring. Okay, you just click on finish edit mode and it will be done. But again, as we said, whenever you're working with flooring, you can change the properties, or you can go with the generic one, go to edit type and then duplicate and then create a new one. So for example, this is custom 450. Okay, and I will go to edit the structure and I will start adding material. So I'll keep the base as, for example, 400, and I will change this one to, let's say, precast or concrete or whatever. And then I will insert a new layer, and for this layer I'll take it up and I'll consider it, I'll change the function to finish, and then change the material to concrete, and I will change the thickness to, for example, 30. I'll just make it this way so you can see. And then I will insert another layer and I will change it to finish, and I will change the material, for example, to marble. Click on OK and change the thickness to 20, for example. Now I have all my layers. Click on OK. OK, now this is changed. So if I go to 3D, for example, you can see, let me change it to realistic. You will see that it's changed. Okay, I'll just take it back to shaded so it will not be heavy. So this is my flooring. Now if you want to copy it to the first floor, you can do it. Otherwise you can edit it. So what I'm going to do, I will copy and I'll show you how to edit. So the first thing is I will create a copy, paste, and selected floor, select first floor, and I have it. Next, I want to change the type. I don't want it to be 450. So I'll go to edit, duplicate, and let's say this is 150. And then I will go to edit and I will change this one. So I have 100, for example. So the total is 150. And you will see that now it's changed, but I still have all this. As for the walls, I will select all the walls. Okay, except, let me just select this one. Okay. So I will select them all without these. I don't want these walls. And then I will select attach top base to the flooring. So what did this? What happened now? What happened is the walls are now stopping below the flooring instead of continuing up. Okay, so this is something that you can do. The same thing I will do here in the first floor, but then before I do this, I will go to first floor and I will edit the floor. So if you want to edit it, you can just double click on it, or you can click on edit boundary. And then you will remove, for example, I want to remove this line and this line. And then I will select from here, trim, extend to corner. And I will use it on these two lines, and then I'll have this corner. And for here, I don't want it to stop. I don't want it to reach this area. I want this area to be an opening, so I can edit it from here as well. So I'll take this one here. And then I will continue drawing the line from here. And then again, I can use this one to connect these two lines. Click on OK. Yes, and then I will go to 3D and check what happened. So now I have flooring. Select this flooring and then go to copy, paste to parapet level. Okay, again, I will select all the walls. I'll just make sure that I select all of them. Attach to this one. Okay, so now everything is okay. This is if I just want to add it as a slab. Otherwise, what you can do is you can create a floor, a roof. Okay, so this is if you have a floor, you can keep it as a floor, and then you have these parapet. Okay, so before we go to the roofing part, I want to add this one here. I want to edit it. Okay, double click again, delete these two lines, and then you can go to these two lines and extend them to each other. Click on OK, and you will have that. And then you can do this as well for the ones. Okay, so this is one way. Let's say I want to add steps here. So for the steps, again, I will use flooring. Let me just save those here. Okay, so I will go to architecture, floor, and I will start working. So let's say I will take this line or circle or whatever you want to do, and you will start drawing. So for example, I will go to the ground floor, and I will start drawing from here to here, for example. Let's say this is the first step. But of course, you cannot keep it this way. You have to close the line. So let's say this is the one. Okay. If you want to edit anything, you can. Let's say, okay, just keep it this way for now. I'll click on OK. Now I have it. I will change the type here, and instead of generic, I will go to the custom one, edit, duplicate, and I will change this one to 300. Go to edit type, and then change this one to let's say 250. Yeah, and then it will be 300. Okay. Now you want to take it down a little bit, so I'll go here to the offset and use -150. So now I have this floor. And I'll do the same thing for the other. So here maybe this I can keep it as 450 without any offset. Okay, so I can enter this room, and then I will add more steps. So I'll go back to the ground floor, and I will start drawing again. So I will select floor, and then I will select this and start drawing. So let's say I wanted to reach this point. And then I will use this line, and I will use offset. Okay, so let's say I want the offset to be 1000, and then you can close it. Of course, what you can do is, instead of drawing it this way, and now it's not going with the wall, you can create a copy from this flooring. So let me just cancel this one for now. I can select this, create a copy, and paste. Okay, so when you paste it, I'll just paste it accordingly, the same way. Let me just make sure that it's in the same position. Okay, so for the new copy, it's okay. It is overlap, but that's fine. Okay, so now I have two. I will select one, double click, remove these two lines. And then if you want to make it shorter, you can make it shorter. And then you can go to offset, for example, 1000 outside. Okay, and then I will just connect these lines. So instead of redrawing the curve again and not being sure that it's overlapped or anything, you can just do that and then click on OK. And then I will change the type to 300. And then I will add a minus of 150. So now if I go to the 3D, you will see that you have this step, and accordingly you can continue. This is if you have like irregular shapes or anything, but if you have like standard rectangles, you can just draw the rectangles and that's it. Okay. One more thing, if you want to create a slope, you can either select ramp, otherwise you can just create a floor. So I'll create this floor to show you now, and then we'll go through the ramp when we reach the stair. So if I have this flooring, you can always double click on it and select slope arrow. So for the slope arrow, you can draw it, click on OK, and you will have a slope. So if I go to the north elevation, you will see that now it's sloped. Okay, so this is one way of editing the floor. Again, another thing that you can do as, let me go to 3D. You can edit the flooring. If it's not for flooring, if it's even for the ceiling or anything, you can go to modify sub-element, and then you can select either the point or the lines, and you can control them. So for the slope, for example, I can keep this one here, and then I will move this line 450 up. Okay, for example. Otherwise, you can go and change the points as well until you reach the shape that you want. Okay, so this is if you want to do any irregular shapes. Okay, and accordingly you can then adjust the walls, similar to what we're going to do now with them. Now, before we go to the roof, I'll just go through the ceiling because it is easy. So I will select ceiling. From here, you will select the type. So we have the grid system, and we have the plain one, the gypsum one. So if you have two types of drawing ceiling, you can either select automatic ceiling or you can sketch it. So if you have a specific design in mind, you can sketch the ceiling and create like openings and everything in it. Otherwise, what you can do is you go to the ceiling plans, because it will not show on the floor plans. You will go to the ceiling plans. So let's say this is ground floor, and I will select ceiling, automatic ceiling, and you can just click inside the rooms and it will add it. Okay, and you can specify the offset from here. So the floor itself is at 4,000. So let's say I want the full ceiling to be at 3,500. Okay, and I will click here, click here, click here, and I will click here. I don't need it here, but I just clicked so you can see it from outside in the tree. Okay, so if you go here now, you will see that I have this full ceiling. One more thing, if you want to view the building from outside, when you go to 3D, you don't select anything. You will have the properties for the 3D view, and you can go here to section box. Okay, now you will see these lines that you can control. So I will just open the building from this side so you can see the ceiling. Okay, so as you can see, this is the false ceiling that we have done. Okay, I'll just remove this section box so we can get back to the building. So I think ceiling is easy. Next we have the roof. For the roof we have three types. We have roof by footprint, by extrusion, and by face. The by face, we're going to use it when we work on the massing. So I will keep it for now. And then the one that I'm going to use now, I'll start with roof by footprint. So you can either select the level from here, or you can just go to the plan and start working on the plan. Okay, so again, I will go to, just close this. I will go to roof. It will be on the, for example, first floor or in the parapet. I'll keep it in the parapet. Let's go to parapet and we'll start drawing. So now you can select the type from here. Let's say I will select this one, or you can go to edit type, change the structure and everything similar to what we did before, and you will start drawing. So I will select this rectangle since it is a rectangle. I don't need to do anything in it. And then you can select offset from here. If you don't want it to start exactly where you're clicking, you can add an offset. So let's say I will add an offset of 500. Okay, so when you start drawing, it will add automatic offset of 500. Okay, one more thing, you have defined slopes here. If it's on, you will have a sloped ceiling. If it's off, the ceiling will be flat. Okay, so I will start drawing from here to here. When you're done, click on OK. Yes. And then I will go to the 3D. So now you can see that I have these slopes here. If I double click on it to edit it, you can select all the lines and then you can remove the defined slope and it will be straight. Okay, so I will just delete these parapet walls for now. Delete this roof and delete this one. Okay, so we can work properly. So I will go back to the parapet plan. As you can see now, I cannot see the walls in the parapet plan. In any view, sometimes you're done working on the ground floor, you want to go to the first floor and draw on the lines that you have. If you want to see anything from the lower levels, you can go to the properties here. So I select parapet, and then from properties, we have underlay. So from here, I will select, for example, first floor, click on apply, and you will see it all grayed out for you. If you want to check anything, you can follow these lines. So again, for the roof, you can go to roof by footprint, and then I will select rectangle. Let's say I'll create an offset of 100, and you can either open or close define slopes. Okay. And I did the offset 100, so when I click on it, or let me just do it 500 for now because I have slopes from here to here. Click on OK, and you will have it. If you want the slopes to be less, you can always go to Edit and change the slope. Instead of 30, let's say I'll make it 10. Select this line, again make this one 10. This one, the same thing, and this one. When you're done, click on OK. Now the slope is lower. Okay. One more thing is, if you're done and you want to remove these slopes, we said that you can select them and then you can remove define slope from here, and that's it. It will be flat. Okay, so this is for the first type. The second type, or the second method of drawing, is roof by extrusion. So for this one, you're drawing the line and then it will be extruded. Okay, so I prefer that you work from the north elevation or any other elevation. So I'll just go to the north elevation. Okay, select roof by extrusion, and then you will select pick a plane. Okay, when I select pick a plane, I will select any plane that I want to work with. So anything in the elevation is fine. And then I want it to be in the parapet level, click on OK. And now you will start drawing. So you can draw whatever you want. So let's say, for example, I will draw this one here to here. And then let's say I want this shape. If you want to create like straight lines, you can. So whatever shape you want to do, you can do. When you're done, you'll just click on OK. And now you have this shape. Let me just go to the 3D. You will have this one. So I will go to the parapet view. Make sure that you extend it exactly wherever you want it to be. So if you want to extend a little bit from this side, a little bit from this side, you can. If you want it to be fit, you can change it as well. And now when I go to the 3D, sorry, you can see that it's there. But of course, we cannot keep these walls open this way. So I will select the walls, attach top base to this one. Now, as you can see, it's all attached to the ceiling. Okay, you can do the same thing for the curtain walls. The curtain walls sometimes are a little bit more complicated, so it might not work, but as you can see in this case, it's working perfectly. I'll do this again, attach, and it will attach. Okay. The third type of roof is the type that we're going to work on when we start with massing, which is roof by face. Okay, so we went through all of these. Now we have the stairs. Before we start with the stairs, let's start with the stairs first. Okay. So for the stairs, we have a few types, a few methods. We have the straight ones, we have the full spiral, half spiral, and then we have the L shape and the U shape. Okay, so we have these 5 types. Also, we have create sketch. So you can either go with these or you can create your own sketch. This is up to you. So let's go to the ground floor plan. I will start with the straight one. First of all, you're going to modify from here which type of stairs you want. So let's say I want the precast. Then we have, I want to start, the base level is ground floor, and then I wanted to reach the top level, which is the first floor. Okay, and then after you're done with those two, you're going to add the number of steps that you want. So here you will see that the riser height is 173, which is a bit high. So you can change this to 26, for example. You will see that now it's automatically updated. It will be 153. So the standard is 150, a little bit more, a little bit less, it's fine. And then for the thread depth, I want it to be 300, for example. And then you can change the run width from here. So I have width of the step, depth, and height. Okay, so the run width is the width of the step, the thread depth is the depth of the step, and then the riser height is the height of each step. Okay, after you're done, you will start drawing. So you can either draw it as one full stair. So this is one way. The other way is, let me just delete this one. The other way is that you're going to click to stop and add a landing, and then you can continue. So you can continue in any shape that you want. Okay, so this way you can have your landings, you can have all your steps, and you can see when you're clicking that it will tell you that you have a few steps left. So here you can see that I have 3, 2, okay, until I'm done. Okay, when I'm done, you can click on OK, and you will have yours here. Let me just move it a little bit here, and let's see it in the 3D. So now you have this. It will automatically come with railings, so for now I'll just delete them. This is the step battalion, or the stair, sorry, battalion. Okay, in any stair that you work with, you can always edit the properties. So I'll just add another one. Let's see how it will go. I'll click on stairs. Let's say I will go with the full step spiral, or this one. Again, ground floor to first floor, and then I will add the number of the steps. Let's say I want them to be 26. The thread is 300, the thread width and is 1000. Okay. And then you can start drawing. So let's say I want to add it here. So I'll start drawing, and then I'll have all the steps. If you want landings in between, you can click, and then you can continue adding your landing. Okay, depending on the shape that you want, you can do that. Okay, for now, let me just continue here. Okay, I'll just create it all as one, and then click on OK. Now I have my stair. Let me just go to 3D, and then I will apply a crop or a section box. And let's see what happened. Okay, so now I have this. If you want to add the stairs to another level that you have, let me just delete the roof for now and copy this one. The flooring, align to parapet, and click on OK. Okay, what you can do is after you're done, you can select this, select level if you want to copy it, select the level that you want to copy it to. So I will select this one. Click on OK, and you will see that it will be copied upstairs. Okay, and this will be now a multi-story stair. If you edit this type, it will not give you any parameters. So it's I prefer that you change everything before you select the levels. So then you can just copy it with all these settings. Okay. So what are the settings for the stairs that you can change? You can go here to edit type. This is the precast. So you can go to edit type, and then you will have the construction, the run type, you can change it. And then you can have the landing type, and you can go to the support if you want to change any support. But because this is like precast, you will not have a lot of things to change in here. If you change it to the assembled one, okay, which is this one. So this is usually done by steel or glass or something like that. So what you can do is, in this case, when you go to edit type, of course, you will duplicate. Then you can change a lot of things here. So for the run type, for example, you can change the thread if you want to keep threads only or risers only. So now I will remove the risers, for example, change the thickness of the thread to be 100, and then, or let's keep it 50, it's fine. And then I will add nosing as well, 50. Okay, and then you can change the material. So for the thread material, I will change it to, let's say, glass. Okay, click on OK, and okay, you can see that now I have glass here. Okay, you can change these supports on the side. Let me just select the stair, go to edit type. You can change the supports. So instead of stringer, you can remove both of them. And then, for example, you can add a middle support. Let me just apply it so you can see the difference. So now I don't have any support on the side, I just have it in the middle. And you can add more than one. Okay, so you can control these according to what you want. So for now, I'll just keep it this way. And you can change the materials as well. So you can go here and change the depth, width, and everything, and the material. And when you're done, you will have your stair. If you want to edit the stair itself, you can always double click on it. Let me just go to the ground floor. And then you can convert it to a sketch. And then this is a sketch now. So you can click on edit sketch and you can change whatever you want. So let's say I want to change this one. Okay. Because this is a curved one, you might have few issues trying to do try to change those. So what I'm going to do is, for example, let's say I will increase this one to here, increase this one to here, and then I will go to a riser and I will add this line here, and then I will remove this one, for example, from here. And then let's click on OK. You just need to make sure that all the lines are connected perfectly. There are no issues. And when you're done, you can click on OK. But because, as I told you, this is okay. One more thing I forgot to change is the stair path. You can see that the stair path is until here, so I'll just increase it. Click on OK. Now it's done. Click on OK again. So now I have, for example, like a small landing here, and then I've increased the steps on this side. Okay, so you can see that this is now no. So this is if you want to edit. I'll just go back to the ground floor and I'll create another one quickly so we can go through the openings as well. So I will go to stairs and then I will start drawing. So let's say I want to start with this shape and then I want to continue on this side. Okay, let's just finish it this way. Click on OK. I didn't change anything from here. We're supposed to change the settings. For now, I'll just keep it this way. And then I will delete the railings. And I will move the stair from here to here. And I will change the type to be precast. So now I have to move it again because I don't have the edges. Okay, let's go to the 3D. So I'll remove this as well. And I will change this one. Let's keep it this way. And then I will open it from this side. Okay, so now I have this stair here. Now for this stair, if you have anything that you want to edit, you can. Otherwise, you can just keep it this way and then you can continue working on other things. So if I want to edit the stairs, again, we said we'll go to edit stair. Let me just go to the ground floor. Select, for example, this one, and then I will go to convert to sketch, close, and let's say edit sketch. Let's say I want to bring this one, this. Okay, now I have to connect all these lines to this one. I cannot keep them this way. So what I'm going to do is I will select this one, which is trim extend multiple elements. I will select this line, and then I will select all the other lines, and they will extend automatically. Okay, click on OK. Now I'm done with the first one. Then I will select the landing, again, convert to sketch, close, and then edit sketch. And then I can edit this one. So let's say I want to delete this line and delete this line, and then I will select these two and I will create this shape, for example. Click on OK. Okay. Let me just take this one here. And I will connect new lines. It is supposed to work as I've done it before. Okay. I'll just connect this one for now, but it's supposed to work because I did it before. It worked perfectly. I don't know why now it's doing this. But anyways, you get the idea. You can change the shape of the stair to the shape that you want. Okay. You go to edit type, change anything that you want to change. So for example, for the precast, I will go to edit type and then I will change the run type from here and I will add a thread. Okay, let me just click on cancel and I will show you in the 3D so you can see what's happening. So this is the precast part. I will go to edit type, change the run type, and then I will add a thread, and then let's say the thickness is 50, and I will add a nosing of 50, for example, and then I will change the material for the thread, let's say to wood. And when I click on apply, you will see that now I have an extra layer, and the material will be different with the nosing and everything. Okay, so this is if you want to add threads, or if you want to add risers, you can do that. Next, we're going to add the railing. Before we add a railing, as you already know, the stairs here, as you can see, they are reaching this floor slab, so we cannot pass through this area. And this is wrong. So to create an opening, you can go to the floor itself and edit it. Otherwise, what I'm going to do, I will go here to opening and I will create a shaft. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 types of openings. One is by face, and then shaft, wall, and vertical. So we'll go through them. The first one is shaft here. So I will click on it and you can start drawing your opening. So I will just go through this area. I will go through over the lines. You can create this shape, you can create any other shape, this is up to you. For now, I will do this one. I will click on OK and I have my opening. You will always see that the shaft starts from 150 inside the ground. You can see now that I have this opening inside the ground. So I will remove the offset, keep it as 0, so it will start from above. I will not have any openings in the floor itself. And then I wanted to reach the parapet level. Okay, so you will have these openings. For the top, I don't want it to open through the parapet level, so I will have a top offset of minus 150 for it. So now it's not going through the ceiling. Okay. If you wanted to go through, of course, you can always keep it as 0. Now I will add the railing, and then we're going to copy it. So I will go to architecture, railing. We have 2 types of, or 2 methods to add a railing. We have sketch path and we have place on stairs. So I'll select place on stairs for this one. And then I will select this stair. And it will give me automatically these 2 railings. Now, if you want, you can delete one of them. So I will delete this one. And for the second one as well, if you want to edit the railing, you can always edit the path. So I will go to the first floor, select the railing, and then double click on it. So now you can see that it's going this way, but then I wanted to go all over the opening to close it. So I will select line and continue drawing from here. So from here, let's say I will keep 100. I will reach this point. And then, of course, you can use offset if you want to, but for now, I will just go this way. I forgot to do this. Yeah. So now it's okay. And then I will take from here. And then, again, this way. When you're done, click on OK. Let's go to the 3D, and you will see that now it's going all over the opening. Okay, so it will automatically continue drawing. If you want to edit the type, you can go here and change it to whatever you want. So we have, for example, 900, we have 1000, and we have 1100. Or we can go to glass panels, and it will change to glass panels. If you want to edit anything, you can always go to edit type, duplicate, and then start working. So we have the rail structure. Okay, so you can change the railings. Let me, for example, change this one to circular. And you will see that it will change. Let me just change it to something bigger so you can see. Okay. So this will change the railing. And then, as you can see now, I have different shapes. Then for the baluster placements, which are the ones here, you can change those as well. So you can see that we have this one, and then we have a glass. And then we continue with the rest. You can change those as well. You can change the height, and instead of 900, you can make it 1000, whatever you want it to be. The top rail, if you want to remove it, you can remove it, and so on. You can go through all the settings as we've mentioned before. Okay, so at the end you will reach your design. When you are done, you will select the stair, and then you will go to select levels. Okay, and you will select the levels. So to select levels, I will just remove this one section box so I can see the levels. Of course, you can always go to wireframe, so you can select things from inside. I don't want the shaft, I want this one. Select level, and I will select this level. Click on OK. Now, as you can see, you have copies. Just go back to shaded. You have a copy at the top. Okay. So that's it for the stairs. The third or another way of drawing the stairs, we said that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have a sketch. So for the sketch, you will draw it. What I prefer to do instead of drawing inside the stair, which will take a bit of time to control, I prefer to draw the lines first. So I'll come here to model line, and then I'll start drawing. So let's say I want to draw this one. And then let's say I want it to be from this side. Okay, depending on the design that you want. Whatever design that you want, you can manage the dimensions. Again, I will take a line and I will start a drawing. And then you can use offset, for example, or copy, depending on what you want. So I will take this one, I will create an array from here to here, let's say 300. And then I will add like 25 copies, for example, and I have this. I will select all of them, ungroup, start editing. So I will select this one, select this line, and then select all the lines to be cropped. And then again, I will select this line, and then these lines to crop them. And then you can stop these lines wherever you want. So now you have the lines ready, and you will go to stairs. Don't forget the line or the one in the middle for the stairs. So now what I'm going to do, I will go to architecture. I will go to stair, select sketch, and start selecting the lines. So for the boundary, I will go here and pick line. Instead of drawing a line, I will go to pick line, and I will select this one and this one. Then I will go to riser, pick line, and I will start picking all of these lines. Of course, don't forget that you have to change the number of steps from the beginning. Here I forgot to do it, so my stair will be shorter than the one that I did. Okay, but I don't want to repeat everything now. I will just continue. 2 and 1. Okay, so I have to stop here. Now I will go to my boundary again, and I'll make it shorter. That's it. And then for the stair path, again, I will pick a line, or you can draw a line. This is up to you again. And when you're done, click on OK, OK, and you will have your stair. Okay. So now I have. So you can draw whatever shape you want. You reach the result that you want in the stairs. You can add railings, and that's it. So far, do you have any questions? Yes,
Miss, can you create a room with a minus level?
Yeah, sure. No problems. Okay, so let's say this room is supposed to be minus. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is I will go to this line here for the flooring and trim it. and I will close it from here. So it is easier to draw it in the ground floor, of course. So this is the first one, and then I will click on OK, and then I will create another one, and this time I will select 300, and I will draw it from here. So for the flooring, you will do each part separately. When you're done, click on OK. Now you have this flooring. Now what you need to fix are the levels. So this one will be minus, and the offset minus 150. So it will start from the ground. And then one more thing you need to fix is the walls. So I will select these walls. And then you can select a top base and select this, and it will start from the ground. If this didn't work, what you can do is you can select this, and then you can add an base offset from here. So I'll select the base offset minus 150. The same thing. You'll see that the top will not change. Okay, so from here minus 150. So it will start from the ground. And that's it. You will have this different level. So if it's a curtain wall or a normal wall, for both you have the same thing. You have this base offset that you can use. Okay? Is it clear?
Regarding for the first floor, like if I would create like a minus level in the first floor.
Mm-hmm. If you want to create a first floor minus level, usually we don't do this, but if we had this issue, you can create the flooring. You can make sure that the flooring is, for example, similar to what we're doing here in the ground floor, but you will manage the offset levels. Okay, so this is starting from here. The thickness is 450. So let's say this is the thickness is 150, and I want to add an extra one. You can go to create your flooring. So let's go here to the parapet level. Okay, I will create this flooring here. Let's say I want it to be from here to here. This is the room. Okay, click on OK, and then I will go to 3D just to see what's happening. Okay, I think I deleted it by mistake. So I will go to floor, select this one, and start drawing. Click on OK. Okay, it's highlighted. Let me just change this one to wireframe. Okay, so now this flooring is the same level as the other one. So you can go to the offset and add 150, for example. Okay, so now you can see it in the shaded view. I will change this one to parapet level, and then I will add 150. So it will be 150 above. Okay, if you want it to be lower, then you will have to create an opening inside this one, and then this would be in the minus. So let's say the thickness for this one is 300, and then for this one it's 150, and I want it to be minus 150. Okay, so this is normal, but then this one is minus 150. You can see it on the side, it's in the minus. And I will change the thickness as well to be 150. Okay, and then you have to create the opening. So let's keep this one here, for example. I will go to the parapet level, and I will change this one. Okay. It's supposed to show. So basically what you need to do is you can create an opening here, and this is, okay, it's here. So you'll create this one from here to here. So it will be an opening. Click on OK. Yes. Okay. Let's go to 3D. So now it is opened, and then you have this one in the lower level. I hope that it's clear. So basically, you need to manage the thicknesses. So this is, for example, 300. This is 150, and then you can go down from here 150. So the total for the void and this slab here are the same thickness as this one. And then you will create an opening in this one. So you can double click on it and draw it. And then you will create the slab and you will place it inside. And you will take it down minus 150.
Yes, clear. Thank you, Miss.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Okay. So next we're going to work with masses. Before we go with masses, I will just yes. You have a question?
Doctor, بالنسبة للstaircase, if it's regular staircase, for example, U shape, for the flooring, cutting the floor with the U shape on the first floor. Is that correct?
Yes. You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to create this shape.
Yeah.
You can create an opening in the flooring normally, or if you have multiple stories, you can create a shaft. Both ways are correct. At the end, you will reach the same result.
Thank
you. Okay. So for the openings in the walls, we have 3 types. We can either select wall and then select the surface and draw the opening this way. So you have an opening. The second way is to add an opening as a door. So I'll go to door, edit type, and then you will go to load. And from doors, you will find an opening. So let's go to doors. And you will find here that you have an opening. Okay, so both ways are correct. In the opening here, you will have fixed dimensions that you can change, and then you can place it. But whenever you add an opening, you have to go here to edit and edit everything. The other type, which is this one, you can control the dimensions anytime you want. From here, you can control them, or you can control them from here as well. Okay. So this would work perfectly if you have an opening. I prefer to go with this one when you have a normal opening that you will pass it through. It's not just a shape in the wall or something, because this case you will have it as in the schedules later on when you create schedules for the doors and windows with the dimensions and the finishes and everything. It will be part of it. Otherwise, you can just go with the normal opening and the door and the wall. The third way is, and usually we use this one for when we have a design. For example, let's say that I have this wall. I'll just change the type to generic. Let's say that this is a boundary. So for the boundary walls outside, you will not have it constrained to a level. It will be unconnected, and then you will change the height. Let's say it's 1,500. And sorry. If you want to create a design in this wall, or you want to change the shape of it, you can double click on it and you will have the profile similar to what you have in the floor and the roof and so on. So you can start drawing. Just make sure that all the lines are connected together. So let's say I will take this one and I will start drawing. Okay. Then make sure that these are clean. So I will select this one, trim and extend. Select this line to this line. If it's not working, I'll just make sure that the points are correct. And also, if you want to create an opening, you can create an opening this way. Just any shape in the middle will give you an opening. Click on OK. And you will have this profile. Okay, so this is just in case you want to create any designs. As for the biface and vertical openings, these are openings that you can create in any place that you have. So let's select this one, and I will select this, and then you can create any shape. Okay, this will be easier to create openings in the irregular shapes for the roof, because this one you can do it by just double clicking and creating an opening. But if you have like the shape of roof that we had before, this way will be easier to create this shape instead of drawing on the surface of the roof. Okay, so both are the same, biface and vertical are the same. The difference is, as you can see here, if you see the section for the opening in the house, you will see that the vertical edges are straight. Okay, so the opening will go straightway extruded into the roof or the object that you have. But if you select biface, what will happen is it will not be extruded vertically. It can take an angle. It can take the angle of the roof that you have or any other shape that you have. Okay, so it will be perpendicular to the roof. But this one, no, it will be perpendicular to the flooring or to the ground. Okay. So I think that we've went through everything basically. One more thing I want to add, which is included in the midterm, is adding rooms. So we said if we want to add any room, we can go here to room, and then we can start placing. So just go through that quickly to know how to edit everything, but basically you will add them this way. And then you can rename the room. So let's say I want it to be, this is living room, and then I want this one to be, for example, hallway, whatever you want to change. Okay, after that you can select this one and you can go to edit family and you can remove any things that you don't want. So for example, I will remove these and then load it into the project again. So it will be this way. One more thing you can do is you can always select the families themselves. You can change the name and then you can go to annotate and color fill legend. So when you select color fill legend, it will give you colors to each room separately. So I will just place it here anywhere. Make sure that it will follow rooms and it will change the color according to names. And then click on OK. And it will give you 3 different colors for each room. For the legend itself, you can edit from here whatever you want to change. So if you want to change the swatches, which are these squares, you want to change the dimensions, text, font, whatever for the title text and for the texts that are inside, you can change them from here. But if you want to change the colors, you will select the legend and then you will go to edit scheme. From here, you can change for each room the color that you want to add. Okay. I hope that you remember the dimensions as well. So we said we can go to aligned in the dimensions, and then you can select from centers of the walls. For example, this one. Sorry, we have individual references, which you can select from where you want to add. So from here to here, for example, and I will add it wherever I want. But we have the second type, which is entire wall. So entire wall will give you the dimension for the wall. So for example, I will select this wall, and then I will add the dimensions for it. From here, you can select wall center line or wall faces. So wall faces will give you the beginning and the end of the wall instead of the center of the wall. When you select entire walls, we have options, and these options you can go through openings. You can open openings and then select centers or widths, and will give you the openings that you have, either doors or windows or normal openings. And then we can have intersecting walls. Okay, I will just close this one so you can see the difference. So intersecting walls will give you the divisions of the walls that are inside. Okay, so it will give you the thickness here, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one separate, and instead of the whole wall. Okay, so you can mix and match depending on whatever you want, whatever dimensions you want to show. You can go through the settings. Okay. So far, do you have any questions?
on this, are we supposed to create a sheet for the midterm or no?
No, no. For the midterms, you're not create sheets or sections or elevations. Yes.
Doctor, also this room logos. It will include it in midterm.
Which one?
This the colors for the rooms and logos like that.
Yes, yes. Yeah, the rooms, you'll have to add rooms and dimensions. So this is part of the annotation. But then sheets and printing and so on, it will not be.
Thank you.
Okay, so the last thing that I want to mention is the massing. And it is an important part that will affect your designs. Okay, because as we said that design-wise, you will be judged on your design. So if you're adding windows, doors, creating new things, just think about the design-wise how the shape will look. So we said that in project 1 and in project 2, you have like 1 mark for the design. It will be the same thing for the midterm. Okay, so whenever you're creating anything here, you can always go to architecture and then create a new model. So when you go to model and place, you can create any shape that you want and you can put it in any category that you want. So you're creating a family basically. So let's say I want it to be a furniture, so I will select furniture. If I want it to be anything else, you can. Otherwise, you can just go with generic models. So when you click on OK, rename the generic model that you're creating, and you will start creating your model. So we have extrusion, blend, revolve, sweep, and swept blend, and we have some void forms. So I will start with extrusion. Let's say I will take this shape, and you can set your surface. If you don't set your work to plane, it will draw on the ground floor level. If you want, you can, for example, I want to pick a plane, and I want to draw on this one. So now I will start from here. Let's say I have this shape, and then I will select these and click on OK. It will give me an extrusion. Okay, I'm still modifying, so I can go back to create, and let's say I want to create an extrusion again, but this time I will select this shape, and then I will select this one. I'll select all the lines. Okay, and then I'll click on OK. Oh, okay, sorry, we don't have to do anything here. So I'll just create and click on OK. So I have this shape. Then you can create some void forms. So I'll select void extrusion, and I will create a void from here to here, for example. Click on OK, and it will give me an opening. Okay, so you can increase this until you reach the point that you want. Click on finish mode, and you have this shape. Okay, so this is according to your design. You can create, for example, some shading device if you want to create some shadings. If you want to create any designs in the surroundings, you can do that. Similar to this, you can go to massing, and you can create and place mass. So it's basically the same. But the difference is when you're creating a mass, you will not have the options for extrude, revolve, and so on. You can just start drawing, and it will give you, it is a bit like it is a smart software, so it will understand what you want to do. So if I take this rectangle, and I just draw this rectangle, and then I select these lines, okay, you can create a form, solid form or void form. So I will select a solid form, it will give me an extrusion. Okay, and then you can increase it. Another thing to do is, let me just delete this. If I go and draw a line, so let's say I want to draw this line. And then I will draw another line, which is, let's say this one. Okay, any shape that you want. Now, if you select these and go to create form, solid form, it will automatically do revolve. Okay, you don't have to specify that now I want to do revolve, now I want to do extrude. No, it will understand it automatically. Another thing that you can do, let's say I will create this rectangle, and then I will delete this line, and maybe I will make this one shorter, whatever you want to do. And then I will go to set my plane, and I will select this shape. So you can see that I cannot select anything here. So I have to add point element. This point element, okay, so I'll add elements here. Now, when you want to draw, you can set your workplace on this one. Now, when I'm drawing anything, it will draw directly in this direction. Okay, it will not draw on the ground floor plan. So let's say I will create this, and then I will create this one, delete this line, and you can trim the line. Okay, for now I will just create like a curved or anything else. Any design that you want. You can use fillet if you want to fillet anything. When you're done, any shape that you create, and with the lines that you've created, when you go to create form, solid form, it will extrude it along. Okay, so it will create this extrusion here on the path itself. Okay. Of course, you can always create new lines. So let's say I want to create this one. First, I will go to set, and I will set my work plane. Let's say I want it to be on the ground floor level. So just select ground, and then I will start drawing. And let's move this one. Now, because this is a circle, when you go to create solid form or void forms, they are both the same way. It will ask you if you want to extrude, or if you want it to be, do you want it to be an extrusion, or do you want it to be a dome? Okay, so I will select cylinder, and then you can increase this one. So you have an opening. Okay, so you can play around until you get the shape that you want. So this is if you are creating some designs outside the house, inside the house, whatever, you can use this. Another way of using masses, which is an important way and will make it very easy for you to use in your designs. What I will do now, I'll just delete, sorry, I'll delete everything. So I'll select everything, and then I'll go to filters, and I will check none, and I'll check all, and I'll remove the levels only. And I will delete everything. So now I have my levels. So let's say for this one, I'll make it as second floor. This is first. And then I will copy this. So I'll select this one, select array, and I will create more levels. So from here, I'll keep it as 4,000. And then let's say I want 20 levels. Okay, so now I have 20 levels, and then ungroup all of them. Okay. Now you can see that the plans are not added here. If you want to add any plans, you will go to architecture, you will go to view, and then you will go to plan views, floor plans, and select all the floor plans that are not included. So it will add them. Now I will just delete all the extra ones, and let's go to the first floor. So this is the first floor. I'll delete those. So what I'm going to do is, let's go to the ground floor. Yeah. So on the ground floor, I will go to massing and sites, and place mass, create a mass. I will start with, let's say, this rectangle. And then I will remove this line. And then let's create this curve. Okay. Then I will go to, for example, select this. Or let's create a line. Whatever shape you want. This is up to you, basically. But I just want to make it a little bit complicated so you can see what will happen when we create the form. Okay, so let me just select this one. And I will remove all the extra lines. Now what I will do, I will select this shape and then I will go to copy, paste to the levels, but I will not select all the levels. So let's say I will select number 6 and then 12 and then maybe 18, okay, and 21. So now I will go to number 6 here, select this one, this shape, and I will rotate it. Let's say 30 degrees. Then I will go to 12, select the shape, rotate 60 degrees. So I'm just creating any shape. So if you have a specific concept in mind, you can use this. 90. And then for the last one, I'll just rotate it 110. I don't want a full 30. Now, if I go to 3D, you will see that I have these shapes. You can select all of them, and then you can create a form. Now you have this shape. Click on Finish Mass, and I have my shape. So let's say that I want this to be a building. Now I will select this shape, go to Mass Floors. It will divide it to floors, and you can select all of them, and then tick, and you will have these floors. Okay, and they will be drawn automatically. You don't have to figure out how to draw each floor with the rotation and everything. Next, what you're going to do, you'll go to Massing and Site, and you will add all these systems depending on what you want to do. So first, I will go to Floors, select all the floors that I've created, change the type from here to whatever type you want, and then create floor. And now you'll see that we have floors. The same thing goes for walls. So if I select wall, you can select the type that you want, and you can start adding walls wherever you want. Okay, so it will add the walls for you. Same thing goes for curtain system or curtain walls. You can edit the type, change the dimensions from here depending on how much you want. So for example, for the spacing, I want this to be 4,000, and then I want the windows to be 1,000. Click on OK, and select the faces, and then create system. This might take a little bit of time because it will be heavy, but when it's done, you will have this curtain system. Okay, same thing goes for roof. You can create a roof, you can select whatever shape you want. And this is, by the way, creating roof by face. So if you have a face, you can select it and it will go with the roof. So this is similar to if you go to architectural roof and roof by face and select the face. Okay, so it is similar to that. When you're done, you can select everything, go to Filter, uncheck all of them, and only select Mass and Mass Floors. Right-click and hide element. So now you don't have any overlapping. That's it. You have a full building in a few seconds. So, is it clear? Do you have any questions?
Miss, can you just repeat the part about the rooms and the color coding?
Yes, sure. So let me just draw some walls. I'll go to the ground floor. Okay, massing is included in the midterm, but in the midterm, what you're going to use it for, you can even use this one, the model in place, to create like shadings or designs that will enhance your plan. Okay, similar to what you did in project 2. So I'll just create these walls. And then I will add this one here and this one here. Okay, so you have a few rooms that you can work with. So you will go to room. And by the way, if you want to divide an open area, you can go here to room separator and you can draw a line. Okay, so this will not be any walls or anything, but it will create different rooms. So I'll go to room and then I will start placing here. Okay, and you will change the name. So double click on it. So this is, for example, living. This is dining. This is, for example, kitchen, whatever you have. Okay, so the colors will be different. Now, when you're done, you will go to annotate, and then you will go to color fill legend. Okay, when you place it, now it's not asking me anything, but let me just do it in a new file. I think this is a new one. No, this is the family. Okay, so let's say that these are rooms. So I will go to room, place my rooms, and then when you're done, don't forget to change the names, otherwise you will have the same color for all of them. So I'll just adding. Okay, so let's say so the next step is to go to annotate, color fill legend, and then place it anywhere. That's it. Here you will select rooms, so the space types will follow rooms, and the color scheme will follow the names of the room. So each different name will get different color. If you have 2 kitchens, they will have the same color. 2 bedrooms, they will have the same color. Unless you change the name to bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bedroom 3, then they will be different colors. Click on OK, and the colors will be applied. That's it. Then if you want to change the colors, you can select from here and go to edit scheme, and you can change the color for each one separately. Okay, and it will change. One more thing, in massing, you can add trees from here. So you can go to site components and select the type of tree that you want, and you can place it. So let's just change it to something else. You can place the trees. When you go to 3D, you will not see them. You will see them this way until you change it to realistic. So it will not be heavy on you when you're working. Now you can see the shape of the tree. Okay, otherwise when you keep it as consistent colors, it will be this way. So it will not affect the speed of you working on the software. So I think that's it. We've covered everything. If you have any questions, please let me know. Yes, I mean. Sorry, I can't hear you if you're talking. Abdullah, you have a question?
Yes, Doctor. I just entered the lecture. I'm sorry, I had an issue. I will watch the rest of the recorded session, but regarding the issue at hand about the two.
Yes, I was waiting for you for the timing. What I told them is that our exam will be in the lecture itself. So if you have anything from 11 to 1, I think now with Ramadan timing, it will be from 10:40 to 12:30 or something like that. So our lecture is from 3 to 5, so we'll have the midterm in this lecture. But I don't know specifically the timing for Ramadan. So I will let you know when we're going to start. So maybe we'll start the exam at 2 or 2:30, something like that.
Sorry. So they won't postpone the other test?
No, I talked to the coordinator. We will all have the exam at the same date, but we can change the timing since this is a practical exam, not theoretical. So he's telling me that we're not going to change the date itself.
I mean, okay, no problem, Doctor.
Okay, if you have an issue with that, also let me know, because your other subject will not be changed. I already talked to the instructors, they will not change the other timing. So that's why we're changing ours.
Okay, so it will be during our class, and you'll notify us about the timing.
Yeah, about the timing, yeah, I will just check the Ramadan timing and that's it. But let me know your exam when it will be exact, because now all the students that they have from 11 to 1, I think they will start at 10:30 or 10:40. So let me know when you're done, because the other students, they don't have anything in between this time, so we can make it as early as possible.
Okay, then. Okay. Thank you.
I mean, I just wanted to ask about the titles that we add in the bottom of each plan. Do we just add with annotation? No, the titles, we said they will be in sheets. Okay, it will not be included in your midterm, but let me just go through it quickly. So you will have them here in sheets. So you have to go to, right-click, new sheet, and you select the size. And you can load more sizes, of course. And then from here, you will take your plan and you will place it and you will have this name here. Okay, so this is the thing that we've explained before the mid-break, but it will not be included in your midterm. So if you want me to explain it again, I will, but let's just keep it to next class so we can focus in this class on the things that are included in the midterm. Okay. Do we create a whole site like scenes of neighborhood streets? No, you don't have to. You can just follow the plan. But sometimes, if you're done, you have time, you can go. You can add like 2-3 trees or create some designs. But what will be included in the midterm is, let me just make sure I can. Yeah, so you, for example, you will have like a shading device. You have like the area on the roof or on the like the car parking area. You can create some shadings designed for it specifically. Okay, so this is one thing that you can do. Then when you're done, you can go through and add more stuff. Like you can add the trees, you can add like a fountain or anything. So all of these will add into your mark when you're judged for the design of the building that you create. Okay. Welcome. So any other questions? Okay. So if you don't have any more questions, I think we can end the lecture now. Again, if you have any questions, you can always contact me on Teams. I'll try to respond as soon as possible. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you on the midterm, and I'll confirm the timings and everything by tonight, inshallah, or tomorrow morning, as I told you. And yeah, Ramadan Kareem. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Doctor. You too.
Thank you.
Miss, sorry, I have one last question.
Yes, sure.
I'm trying to do the room tags بس ما قاعدين يطلعون الألوان يعني بس يعني يطلع التاج بس ما في لون.
إيه عقب ما تخلصين تضيفين التاجز بتروحين حق annotate وبعدين sorry let me just zoom. Okay. فبتروحين بتختارين let me just go to level 1 الروم tags بتروحين حق annotate وبعدين تختارين colorful legend. هذا هو اللي بيسوي لك الألوان. Without it you will not have any colors بس بيكونون rooms عادية. اوكي فcolorful legend بتختارين ان انا ابي يكون على rooms وعلى names. او بيطلعك شو options. اول واحد بتختارين rooms ثاني واحد names and then you will place it anywhere. For example I place it here so it will give me the colors. Okay, if you don't do this step you will not have colors.
يعني okay, so when I add the room tags سيدا لازم يطلعون الألوان ولا after I do the legend؟
لا. After you do the legend you will have the colors.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, try doing the legend. If it didn't work then let me know.
Okay, I'll try it now. Okay, it worked. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.